right, hello everyone and welcome here to beautiful Bungie HQ in scenic Bellevue, Washington. My name's Andy and I'm going to be your host today, and today we have the distinct opportunity to go ahead and show off some brand new stuff coming in Destiny 2 Into the Light. But fret not, I won't be the only one going ahead and telling you about it. I've joined by three members of the Destiny development team who will go ahead and introduce here right away.
Right,
starting directly to my left, Mr. Tom Farnsworth. How are you doing today?
Great, thank you, Andy. I am doing great. I had coffee, breakfast on the way here. I'm a little ready to go. Excited to share all the great work the team has done the past many months. And just for context about me, I'm the creative lead on Into the Light, and I'll be here with you the next few weeks to talk about it.
Looking forward to it. Yeah, we've got a lot of fun stuff in store. And of course, we're joined by senior narrative designer, Mr. Jerome Viernich. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. Also had coffee.
Nice.
On the highway while screaming at passing cars.
Definitely. Right in as well. And for the folks at home who may not know you as well as we've had the opportunity
69,000 viewers.
Who are you and what do you do here at Bungie?
I am a senior narrative designer, which means if you hear a character say it, or if you read it on screen, one of us typed it into a tiny little box at some point months before.
Hanging out with Excel lots these days?
Absolutely.
There it is.
Tiny words, tiny boxes. That's me.
It's an important tool, obviously.
Absolutely.
And of course, last but very not least, one of the most deadly I've ever seen to rock the thumbsticks, especially in these past couple days, the one and only Mr. Noah Lee, activity designer here on Destiny 2.
Hey everyone, my name is Noah Lee. I'm an activity designer on Destiny 2 Into the Light.
Activity? What does that mean? Like the game modes? What the hell did they just do? All three of them put the legs at the same time.
All the really cool things that we have in store.
Is that timed?
I'm a long-time player. I've been playing since
Did you
Destiny
catch
1,
that?
And as a player turned dev, I'm excited to show off all the stuff we have planned. I'm just so excited to see what's
awesome. Well, hey, welcome. You guys, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. To everyone in chat,
Look at the
I see
legs.
a lot of activity in there as well. Thank you very much for taking the time to join us today as well. But yes, today we're going to go ahead and kick things off by looking at Onslaught, which is a brand new activity coming in Destiny 2 Into the Light. For those of you out there that are Twit enjoyers that have had a chance to go ahead and see what we've been posting the last week, we went ahead and released some key art last week that is now up on screen. You can see here. There's a lot going on here. So let's go ahead and just start. Tom, can you tell us a little bit about what Onslaught
PvEs
is?
and Crucible.
Yeah, so Onslaught is a new three-player
That's what it looks like to me,
that's kind of the core of Into the Light. It's available to all players.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see in this key art, like this is like a kind of aspirational view of what Onslaught is in game.
Yeah.
It's a new wave defense activity.
Horde mode?
It takes inspiration from a lot of modes we've looked at, like other games and our games.
Yeah.
Throughout
It's like a Gears of War horde mode.
You're in the last city, and I'm really excited that our players are going to be able to, like, the Guardians are going to be able to hop into this space and defend the last city and eventually take the fight.
Bro, is that what they just did? Like a 50-wave Gears of War horde mode?
Like you got our three Guardians. They're kind of ringed in defenses.
Yeah.
You also got like the pyramids in the sky.
Right, yeah.
And there's even some like kind of pyramid terraforming going on in the background
in the city itself too, yeah. Obviously.
Yeah,
they are at our doorstep.
And there's a few other
collecting
locations too.
motes or
we'll talk
orbs.
about later.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
So also too, Jerome, this is not the first time obviously we've ever had to go ahead and defend ourselves on our own turf, but never quite like this before. Our heels are dug in. We're in the last city right now. Can you tell us a little bit more about what's going on here?
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
So for the past several seasons, the forces of the Witness have been closing their vice grip around the Soul system. The Witness is inside the Traveler doing nefarious deeds, enacting the final shape.
Right.
Time is on its side.
Yeah.
We have worked with ancient magics, esoteric rituals, bargaining with our old foes in order to send someone through the portal and establish a bridge, and we chose Crow.
Yeah.
Now, until he makes contact with us, we are back at home sharpening our knives.
Yeah.
I don't trust
Now, the
him.
Witness, of course, will do everything that it can to keep us on this side.
Feels like he's reading a
Which means
page.
unleashing every bit of its resources, every part of its power against us to keep us pinned in the last city. So this is about breaking out and discovering new power, right? Sharpening ourselves, finalizing our builds, and getting some new toys so that we can face down the Witness.
That's right. And we're also getting some help from a tried and true sharpener of Guardians as well. Shax is going to be helping us out as well, right?
Absolutely. Where some see calamity, Shax sees opportunity.
Yeah.
And he is going to be opening up his arsenal for us to
That's
enjoy.
how he
I think
fixes
we'll
it.
hear about that next week, right?
Oh yeah.
And yeah, he'll be your vendor, and I'm really excited for players to hear.
But you put his gel
As
on
someone
it.
who spends a lot of time in the Crucible, it's always good to spend more time.
He
with
doesn't
Shax.
put gel in his
Inspirational,
mustache.
to say the least.
Absolutely, high volume.
Yeah, honestly, it's the best part of him. You just throw more grenades. Reminder to everyone.
Never go wrong.
May it be a hint to us all. And of course, Noah, there's a lot also too going on here. I see turrets. I see other activity defenses. Obviously, we're going to jump into some gameplay here. But before we do, can you tell us a little bit about what we're going to see when we dive in to play some Onslaught?
90,000 viewers.
So something that's really cool about Onslaught compared to a lot of our activities in Destiny is, like
they're going to show us the
Tom
game
said,
mode.
it's not an offensive, it's a defensive. Our goal is to defend the ADU, or Advanced Defense Unit, which allows us to build our defenses like turrets, tripwires, decoys, and the main goal is to make sure that that thing stays up for all of your waves that you're fighting in. And if that goes down at any point, regardless if you're on playlist, normal, or on legend difficulty,
so it's not dying.
Your game will end. So the main goal is to keep your defenses safe, build them up, upgrade them, and try to get as far as you can.
Yeah, legend difficulty. Interesting. Already dropping some hints.
Legend difficulty.
You know, I had to do it. And another thing, just really quickly, is we had a lot of learnings from some of our activities in the seasons, like deep dives and the coil, where we know players like when we escalate difficulty over time. So that's a key feature of Onslaught. You go from wave 1 to wave 50, each 10 escalating in difficulty, as we're going to see in gameplay. And that serves a really cool opportunity for players to test their builds and, you know, the waves of enemies that we're fighting against are the whetstone by which we are sharpening ourselves.
Excellent. Yes, build crafters, you're on notice. Be prepared for what's to come. All right. Well, I say there's no time like the present. We are seeing a lot of requests in chat for gameplay. I think we can go ahead and dive on in.
The Throne World.
Noah, would you mind returning to your Throne World briefly to go ahead and kick things off here?
My tithes.
Obviously, yeah. We got to get some tithes for the man himself. In the meantime, really quickly, obviously, with Onslaught being a brand new activity, we're going to kick things off in a very different way. Can you tell us a little bit about what we're going to see when we go ahead and start things off?
Yeah, you're going to see it in the gameplay here in just a second, but Onslaught is about kind of establishing a defensive kind of like beachhead in these contested territories where we're like trying to, you know, claw space back from the Witness.
Certainly.
And we're going to see it in Midtown here in a moment. And so players, you know, start off with you and 2 other maybe friends you found that you play with all the time, or maybe you matchmake you in with, and you're going to push forwards with Shax's Red Jacks that you're going to see here. You'll establish a defensive area, you'll deploy the advanced defense unit, and then you'll start placing defenses. As Noah said, there's turrets, there's trip mines, there's decoys. The decoys is our favorite little sweepy bot.
Right. Yep.
And
back to help once again.
And you can upgrade those too. Like the way the activity works is you defeat enemies to collect scrap, which is our currency, and then you can spend that to deploy these defenses. And you're gonna have to be kind of selective. Like each of these defensive locations can move around throughout the activity.
Right.
And here we go.
Awesome.
We already got some action here.
Gameplay, let's go.
We're over
Horde
here
mode.
trying to create a foothold for our ADU.
So he went to go play.
Shax's
Wait, what?
lovely Red
There's
Jacks.
bots?
No one loved them.
We have teammates other than our teammates.
That are here, or the fallen. Our ADU's here. As we see, we got some batteries in tow, and this begins our first really interesting part of this activity, which is our purchase phase. Killing enemies will grant you scrap, like we see in the top left, and we have 30 seconds to pick one of a suite of upgrades. We have tripwires that you can buy for 1,000, decoy, which is our lovely bot here, and turrets. I know people are very curious about turrets. I'm just going to buy this first.
There we go.
But we have our lovely guests, Clayton and Ashley, who have helped
and
create
I said
this activity
PvE
in our
and
playtest
PvP.
team. They're with me helping fill out the fire team, and they're building their defenses.
It's always best to have some solid teammates, and also to for the folks in chat noticing
Tell
some
me
weapons,
about
go ahead and just observe everything.
Tell me about
solid
teammates.
We're going to have plenty of time to dig through those inventory screens. But in the meantime, chat is connecting some dots with the things they may have seen in the key art. But also, too, so Jerome, we're here obviously going ahead and doing this for a reason, right? The ADU is here for a purpose. Can you help us understand a little bit about the role that plays in the defense that we're mounting against the Witness?
Absolutely. When all of the Guardians and their allies enter the portal to face down the Witness, Earth will be essentially undefended. So it's important that we establish solid defenses now and claw back as much territory as we can in advance of our assault. I also want to just point out, I know we're not going to be able to look at it, and we'll see the weapons next week, but we've got some beautiful new lore on those weapons, and so any of those lore hounds, make sure you check out those tabs.
It's really we will be only maybe looking at whatever happens to show up on the stream today, but yes, this is the Brave Arsenal, as it will be known. Players will get a chance to go ahead and be more intrinsically involved with this. We'll have more information on that in the coming weeks.
So we're using PvP maps or PvE?
Observing maybe some previous Guardian favorite weapons out there, worry not. You'll have lots of information to learn over the next coming weeks.
So I want to kind of get started on kind of what players have been seeing since we've been talking about.
Please,
as a whole.
Collecting moats. Yeah, you were right.
See, like,
I just noticed
the
that
ADU has
part.
health over its head right here, and we have enemies in waves coming to try to defeat it. If you've been paying attention, we have high-value targets that are mini-bosses or elites called saboteurs, which drop these repair batteries. And for other attempted players, we can see that there are champions involved. So, you know, bring your champion weapons. Make sure that you are well
Chat, bring your champion weapons.
Different augments like we're seeing on Wave 3.
Weapons, not abilities.
Demand your immediate attention. Yep. We know Destiny players like to run and gun, so we try to get you out of the space of the ADU sometimes so that you can kind of do those objectives to make sure that, oh, yeah, I can explore Midtown and all these other
Seems
spaces.
kind of slow, to be honest.
When you have the other maps that you see.
Yeah, Crucible enjoyers know this space pretty well. It'll be a chance for everyone to go ahead and check it out. But also, too, actually, no, thank you, Noah, for checking that out. Obviously, the pyramids have been busy in here helping to go ahead and mount this offensive.
Yeah, I think they have an eye for decoration.
Yeah, honestly, they're doing a great job. I got to give them credit. They keep it consistent. But Jerome, these are pyramid ships in our own backyard that are going to go ahead and just try and terraform the city. Or
They're
can you help
taking
us
over.
learn what's going on here?
Well, they don't have to do anything. I mean, the witness is doing what it wants to do, and if we don't stop it, then it's game over.
Yeah.
So they really just need to keep us pinned. The witness is inevitable. There's no way we could defeat every one of the witness's soldiers.
Right.
There's no way we could, you know, fight them one by one.
We'll try.
We have to.
I hope they bring other maps, because this is the one in the picture, so I don't know if this is like the only one they're going to show. I mean, or the only one we're going to have.
And send players away from the ADU is pretty significant when it comes to accomplishing all of the tasks in front of you here in Onslaught. But Tom, can you tell us a little bit about the defenses as well? Like, I think we see some trip mines up already set and ready to go.
Yeah, you can see the horizontal beams. Those are trip mines. As you upgrade them, the colors will change. You'll be able to do more damage and kind of fire off more
Trip mines get more charges.
Yep.
And they get more in size. If you upgrade it, you'll go from 1 trip mine to 2, as we see here, which is really nice. Tom can keep going.
And then we've also got the turrets. No, if you could show off a turret in a second.
Bro, this side armor is booty cheeks.
Well, when you can upgrade those three levels as well, they change color.
This void exotic side armor, I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel.
Yep, and then we've also got Sweepy Bot, who also, those decoys, mostly just gain health and change color a little bit. But the idea here is like each of these.
I feel like the field of view is zoomed in.
Defenses for you to deploy, and it's up to you kind of to make the best choices and use your limited resources, the scrap that you're collecting, to make the best choices there, because you're not going to have all the currency you need right off the bat to, like, you know,
Pointy fish, we winning, bro.
Like, no, maybe we want this turret, or maybe it seems like enemies are coming more from this direction. Maybe we should have these trip mines.
Right, yeah. Let's focus our attention and abilities maybe in a different direction. Let the trip mines and turrets do some work in a different direction.
Yeah. Something I want to bring up is we actually have a bonus objective going on right now. We have secondary objectives that occasionally appear in waves, and this one is just to complete the wave within a certain amount of time. And if you complete that while you're defending the ADU, you got to make sure that's alive. You'll actually get a reward, which is a heavy ammo crate that will refill your ammo. When you get higher up in the waves and you get more difficult enemies and like larger waves of stuff, like that is definitely something you're going to be trying to get.
Of stuff.
And that kind of ties into the team coordination you can do. Like if you have a good team in the higher difficulties, you're going to need a little bit more coordination. You might need somebody to go out and do the augments and somebody to go out and do the critical objectives.
Yeah, and also
somebody to stun champions.
Just to make sure, Tom, as well, this isn't the only ADU we're going to be defending in this activity. It moves around the map.
So, as Noah said earlier, there's 50 waves in our challenge version of this activity.
Okay.
There's a playlist version, which is just one location. It's easy, quick, fun to
Wait,
hop
we're
into.
moving from
You do
maps?
10 waves and you're done. And then there's the challenge version, which we're showing here. So there's 50 waves or 5 sets of 10 waves.
Yes.
Is how we like to talk about it.
50 waves.
And with each of those sets of waves, we move around the map between 3 different locations.
Okay, got it.
And so you'll start at one ADU, you'll defend it, you'll take the fight
And
to
this
the
is
witness for a little
cool.
bit,
It feels like I'm in a
and then
different
you'll
area.
build up defenses more, and then go fight a boss.
Yeah, which is what we're seeing as
Am I
well
in
right
a
now. Like
different
we're
area?
on board a pyramid ship now, right?
Yeah, this is one of my favorite phases.
Oh,
where
no.
instead of defending the ADU,
It's
we
that
take
map.
the fight to them. And as you see, we cultivate a spark of light, and it's
Now in
time
PvE.
to run it down, destroy the witnesses' lieutenants, and, you know, do a fun backflip. Let's hope I can pull that off.
Do the backflip.
It's important. If you don't do the backflip, chat's going to be very upset. I can already tell.
Very.
Here we go.
Look at that.
Here we go.
Ooh!
You make it look so easy, Noah.
Because I'm just good.
He is good. He's doing pretty well. I'm not going to.
We're also on the first set of waves. So.
It's going to get a little spicier later. The first few waves are you know, they're kind of like the training wheels.
Right. Yeah. Because you were saying too, there's a 10-wave version of this and a 50. Was it?
Yes. There's a 10-wave version called Onslaught Playlist.
Okay.
You know, if you're in for you want to be in for a short session, I think that's definitely the place for you. Onslaught, in our experience from playtesting, is really easy to lose track of time and just kind of keep going. You can always be like, you know, just one more wave, a few more sets, and then you're like, dang, it's been an hour. Like, it's actually crazy.
Noah, I got a question, if you don't mind. How do you decide whether to unlock new defenses or upgrade the ones you've already got?
So it really is a risk-reward thing. As we're seeing, like, when you upgrade defenses, they will exponentially increase in price, which means that you have to make a decision every purchase phase, like, do I want to save my money to potentially upgrade something down the line and also hope that that defense, you know, lives long enough to be upgraded? Or am I just going to bite the bullet and buy something now that can help me immediately? My strategy usually is that in the first few waves, I will not buy anything to, like, just save up for later, and usually my teammates will do something.
Yeah.
That's where communication comes in. If you just do that by yourself, I don't think your teammates will be very happy with you.
It's fair. As always, keeping the comms crisp is very important, especially as you get those higher difficulty levels.
Definitely gonna
we're
need
just in the kind of
ad
the
kill
fledgling
weapons.
waves of this right now. But yeah, when we were doing our playtest yesterday, things got crazy in a hurry. I hope we get to see some more of the craziness we saw yesterday.
Ability well, they're not using their abilities. They're not using their melees. They're not using their grenades. They're not using their supers. This man is just stuck on this weapon. He hasn't switched weapons once.
Kind of similar to like Forges in the Black Armory from my real vets out there.
You know how you drive and you see somebody that's a shitty driver?
Are naturally compelled to come over here.
I see gamers and I see a shitty gamer. I'm sorry, I love you.
But also, if there's any enemies that stay in the radius of the ADU, you'll see it'll turn red.
The same way when you go on the street and you see somebody driving, like this dude doesn't know how to drive. I'm the same way, but with gamers. Like, this dude doesn't know how to play.
The amount of scrap. So it's in your best interest to try to keep it as healthy as possible because you might be able to snowball your defenses.
Interesting. So especially if you're really pushing for those later
I'm
levels.
sorry, I love
like
you.
The 40s
It's
and
just,
50s,
you know, I just
maybe
play
it
too
behooves
much.
you to hold on. For the levels are so let your abilities and weapons do the talking for a little bit.
50s are no joke.
Oh, he switched weapons.
Oh my God.
There we go. We got one of the bigger mobs on the way.
So yeah, here's one of our augments. Just demolitionists. We get these
Usually
huge ultras
driving like weirdos.
They're beeline for the ADU.
Yeah.
I don't
Since
know,
we're on
man.
the first wave, they're not that difficult, but I promise you, wave 40, wave 50.
I drive a little
these
crazy,
guys
though.
are tanky. They require a lot of
I
attention.
have
and
some credit.
I think I have road rage for sure.
You know, I like I said, you know, I'm just
People
that
that
guy.
don't know how to drive piss me off.
Preparing for this moment. Also, too, actually, let's
People
talk
that
a little bit
do,
of
not even that don't know how to drive. People that do stupid
Noah.
things in the
I'm
street
not,
piss
you
me
know,
off.
I'm not treading new ground here. I'm a nice
Piss
soccer by
me
heart.
off.
I got my Falcons on. We actually, off screen, we're figuring out how it's pronounced. But Falcons, everyone. So anyone who mispronounces it, that's how you say it. Doing that, I love Buried Bloodline. It's a great weapon from Warlord's Ruin. I love the Catalyst. And, you know, I'm just doing that because we might see some Tormentors. You know, who knows? And I like precision when we're doing that because, you know, rockets aren't very effective against
See, over the past day or so
Probably
as I've been
do.
getting prepared for the stream, I'll admit my jealousy for Buried Bloodline has only been growing. I'm a big fan of Graviton Lance. We get along very
emotional
well.
control classes.
I gotta say, the precision that you've
Anger
been getting out
issues.
of Buried
I don't think I
Bloodline
have
makes
anger
me
issues, just
upset that I haven't just gone ahead and buckled down
control
and
my
got the
shit.
farming done to get that thing unlocked, honestly.
Yeah, great. So as we see, we are actually in the pyramid again for the boss. We're taking the fight back to the Witness's forces. And this brings up a really interesting part of all of the boss phases where instead of having immune shields or immune phases,
use your super
we
armor.
have
Kill him.
different augmentations that allow you to increase your effectiveness against the boss. So for example, this one is Augmentation Well. If you stand in these wells and defeat high-value targets, you will actually deal increased damage to the boss for the rest of the fight. That's
Let's
something,
go.
because these are meant to be kind of like victory laps. Like you've survived against the ADU, it is time to just single-mindedly take down the boss.
Yeah. Interesting. Also, too, actually,
He
really
uses
quickly,
super.
Tom. So I know we touched on there being 10 and 50 wave versions, but we got a question in chat from Tirkinator. Is it random matchmaking? Do you get to bring your own fire team in? Both?
So playlist is random matchmaking, or you can bring your fire team in.
Yeah.
And then I believe the challenge modes, of which there is a normal version and like a hard version, which goes up to GM. I believe that the normal version is match made. We can correct on socials maybe for the second one. I don't think it's match made, but I think everything supports Fire Team Finder.
Cool, awesome. Yeah, obviously. And honestly, too, it never hurts to bring in your own GM crew.
Yeah,
if you're pushing
Flash.
50 waves.
New horde mode for
we
Destiny.
definitely want you to communicate in that activity on the upper end, especially. You're going to have a much better time.
Yeah, honestly. Also, too, actually, while we're kind of on that subject, I remember something you mentioned earlier was, kind of one of the goals, I think, from a design standpoint.
So what's the point of upgrading in the other areas if you're going to leave it behind? Like, you know how they just teleported, even though they're in the same match? But they left all of their upgrades in the other area. Do you just like restart in between like phases? Or does, I don't know, that's weird.
We're at a new defensive location you can see here. That's the river walk in here. And like,
we're going to break the fourth wall. We're
so like you reset every time you move? That's kind of weird.
It's not always going to be falling. We have the hive that were shown prominently.
What about the enemy wave? Do the enemy wave reset? Does it get easier and then harder again?
Behind the scenes,
or does it leave off where it was? I hope it leaves off where it was.
Earlier, every single one of the armies at the witness's behest is going to go ahead and be a part of this fight potentially. Or which ones are they, rather? Or if you don't mind me asking, I should say, Jerome. This is your pick.
Yeah, we've got Fallen and Hive are going to be pressing the last city, but the Taken are definitely
there's only 3
active.
Yeah, but like
sort of
what I'm trying to say is like the upgrades that you upgraded initially, they don't travel with you, right? They just stay behind. So like right now, when they just started this area, they just started again from scratch in a way. Like I know not their wave, but like their upgrades.
Like this, obviously kind of helping us realize what the Witness's mission is. Like, what was kind of some of your inspiration as you kind of looked at this?
Thank you for hanging out, Big Models. We really appreciate you coming in,
We
man.
always start with the characters, like the emotions of the characters, from their perspective, how they would see things, how they would react.
Certainly.
And so that's what made Shaxx a natural fit for this. It's such a gear-focused activity. It's so ferocious. We needed a voice that matched that level of intensity.
Yeah.
And so that's where we came up with Shaxx.
Yeah, Shaxx is like the perfect hype man for this, right?
It's so great when you get later in the rounds and he just kind of makes you feel like you can keep going.
I mean, that's his goal, right? The Crucible is not a forgiving place, and he's there bringing folks in every single day that he possibly can. So
he's been preparing us for this. That's what the Crucible is for.
No, and that's a great way to look at this. The Crucible is preparing, fighting other Guardians to sharpen ourselves to fight a war. And this is just fighting a war.
Yeah, honestly, this is what we've been sharpening ourselves for. This is that moment. Also, too, kind of in that theme, we got a question from Cozy Spartan in chat. Are there any other weapons that are coming back? As a quick reminder, this is the first
recycled
of
content.
actually 3 streams as well. So next week we're going to be talking about that. So make sure and mark your calendar and tune in then. Today, this is just a taste of Onslaught and kind of a first look at what's to come in the brand new activity.
It seems like it, Miles. It seems like it.
Money, I'm broke. No.
All out of scrap already?
Yes. I bought one thing. I spent it all on these 2 turrets, which have been performing pretty well, actually.
They don't seem like they're doing much, to be honest.
To upgrade a few things because their effectiveness is much more heightened when you upgrade it. So I feel like if you all pool your resources to make a few traps really good, that might serve you well. But who knows? I know when you do legendary and you're in GM, you're really going to need those defenses.
Did he just say GM?
Those enemies are powerful.
He just said Grandmaster. He just said Legendary and GM.
Right, so we've touched on there are 3
Was that a
different
slip?
tools at our disposal between the turrets.
He
the
just
trip
said
mines, and obviously the
Grandmaster.
decoy
No.
and those are upgradable, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Correct.
I swear he said
how far do those go?
GM.
Like what level? It'll be 3? Awesome. And,
What the hell are you gonna send out?
Steep progression.
Champions instead of
knight.
like
Scrap really ends up being worth it.
They become more expensive, but they also it's not like a linear progression. It's more logarithmic. They kind of jump up in power.
Yeah.
But you got to keep them safe
I
too,
think
right?
he
The enemies,
did.
you might get an augmentation where like one of those big knights or big.
That's the first time he said it. He didn't say nothing about GM.
And so you definitely want to try to keep the space clear.
Yeah, a brig drops in from low orbit and just smashes it into bits.
Yeah,
it's been known to happen. Who knows?
Now, in that instance, if one of your defenses
I think I
is
said it earlier
destroyed,
too. Okay,
do you
I missed it.
repurchase it at level 1?
Yes,
you
you
have to
lose that.
repurchase
Oh,
I
wow.
was talking about my road
And
rage.
that's one thing you have to watch out for with trip mines. Like I said, they have charges, and they will just, they will go out on their own. But that's why they're so cheap. You're going to have to rebuy them once you run out of charges.
Yeah, and also I think I saw a question in chat. I missed the name, so apologies to whoever asked this.
Is
Scrap individual
out?
or is it Fireteam-wide?
So we've got an interesting way of doing it. So
I know we have 3 streams coming
together, but you
explaining about Into the Light.
So you can't mess up.
I'm not sure when the update is coming though.
Made spy.
Anybody knows the date of the
You've got
update?
your own little stock, your own little wallet.
Yeah.
Purse of scrap to spend. So you can coordinate if you want, or you could just spend how you see fit to help the team.
Yeah.
Pretty much horde mode. Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah, as someone too, like in the past, I played, personally, like a lot of wave-based defense games. There we go.
Yeah,
when it comes to the upgrades, I imagine, like you were saying, it's
games.
pretty logarithmic. Is there a feeling of wanting to, instead of getting, 3 level 1 turrets, get 1 level 3 turret, for example? Like, is that power gain kind of the one you want to be chasing if you're pushing those higher levels?
I think it's definitely valuable to do that as long as you can keep it safe.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it might be better to spread out the
that's true.
the damage, but like a lot of that's going to vary, like what augments or which enemies are coming in.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be able to control that. You're just going to have to react. Like it might be.
Yeah.
This might be an easy wave of just some thrall.
Yeah.
But it could be a bunch of exploder shanks too.
Yeah, we made sure
Tom,
to
who
do
would put a bunch of
diversity.
exploder shanks into a wave? Who on earth would possibly be responsible for that?
You can blame Noah. You can blame me for drop pods. You can blame Noah.
I've done a lot.
Everyone who spoke to their therapist about Cabal drop
coil,
pods, you go ahead and charge that directly to Tom. You can follow him on Twitter right now.
Oh no.
Yeah. Noah, Jerome, out of curiosity too, when it comes to kind of the seasonal story and where this fits in. So again, we're digging our heels in, fighting against the Witness, just sharpening ourselves. The next step pretty much is just to go ahead and hold out for as long as we can in preparation for that next battle, I'm assuming?
Absolutely. We're waiting for Crow to essentially build a bridge.
Don't feel it, in my opinion. Well, you're talking about the whole
Osiris
update?
and others, and so it's really the universe is on Crow's shoulders.
Yeah.
And we couldn't imagine anyone better suited for the task.
Yeah.
Crow has come a long way.
What are you talking about? What game,
Stamper?
Stamper?
Yeah.
And I think he deserves an opportunity to show what he can do.
Yeah.
And I think he'll come through for us.
Still has uttered one of my favorite lines. Yeah, we went ahead and chased him into the astral plane. Well, I just shot at him until he ran away, but your way's better. He's earned his spot. He's ready to go, obviously. All right, Noah, where are we at? What are we looking at right now?
So right now we're looking at one of our waves. Like I was trying to say earlier, we actually have a wide diversity of waves. Like as we've seen with the Hive and the Fallen, that it's not just fighting acolytes and thralls every time. We have different compositions. So this is a wave full of exclusively ogres and cursed thrall. Cursed thrall are nice because it allows you to chunk the ogres if they're grouped up.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're cursed thralls, and as we see, they are just booking it straight toward the ADU.
These ogres seem very dedicated to their task out of the gate, honestly. It seems like within a millisecond, they're just lighting up anything they can possibly see.
Yeah, I think they're really dedicated to the Witness, and I think they're also kind of stupid. So they're just doing what they know.
I'm not brave enough to say that to an ogre's face, but I respect you for being able to do so.
So we're seeing another
They're not
bonus
set to crack,
objective
they're
here,
just
actually,
dedicated.
which is there are going to be pyramid splinters that spawn. That's a great. Now where are they?
I think there's one up behind you, Noah.
Oh, right here. Look at that.
What the hell is this?
And then if you keep following it,
Okay,
kind
where
of
do we
leads you
go?
away from the space, and
And then what?
can't find my missile.
There we go.
We're able to get
What do you get? Because I haven't seen you get
heavy ammo,
nothing.
which I desperately need
Oh.
because my buried bloodline.
Oh, I see. Wow, you followed it very
So
far.
there's tension, right? When those splinters lead you away from the ADU, right? You need to kind
He
of
got 37 bullets, by the
split your
way.
attention in two
37
directions.
bullets on a heavy, bro.
That's
What is that
something
going to
we were
do?
really wanting to index on. So for these critical, not critical objectives, for these augments, they kind of incentivize players to like leave the ADU and kind of have roles. As we see, we got splinter mines, and you have guards that are guarding them. We have Clayton.
I
and
didn't know
Ashley
that
doing
weapon does
for me
that
while I defend
whenever
the
you
ADU.
kill.
And that
Well,
kind
that's
of means
pretty
that
nice.
you have less people defending. Like the wave is still coming towards you, but there's things you have to do, and those distractions, which aren't really optional, are kind of what gives you that tension.
You just
and
wanna hit
kind of allows
precision
instant
shots,
go-craft
that's
decisions.
why.
Like, that's something I kind of wanted to go into. Something that excites me as
Yeah.
somebody who's kind of seen how our
Gotta
seasonal
defend
meta
it.
kind of
They're getting- look, the
develops
Knights
with
are
things
eating
like
it.
Strand Titan and
It has a
Solar
health
over and
bar.
over.
Yeah.
I'm interested in seeing if interesting things come out of like Onslaught. You're not trying to stay alive yourself. You're trying to keep this ADU alive, which is a object completely separate from you. So like is stasis going to be more useful? We're seeing Ashley use
Freeze. Stasis is going to be nice to slow down all the enemy.
Against the Fallen, like is
Yeah.
Risk Runner going to be something people want to use?
Strand, of course, is going to suspend all the enemies.
We're gonna
Sunshot
forget
going to
that
explode
happened. That's fine.
everything.
So also, too, when it comes to the build crafting element, I can probably imagine when you're doing the GM difficulties, like it's not just your own build you're worried about, but making sure you have that communication across to your team, across teammates, mods, across element types. Like there's probably a whole heck of a lot to actually
never
make sure
bring
you're keeping
stuns.
track of throughout this entire activity.
There's a lot going on in the activity from a moment perspective. We have a bunch of different wave types, augments, different squad compositions and different bosses as we're seeing, and augments there. So really, like, build is king. Like, you're still shooting bad guys, using your abilities, using space magic, but it's all a matter of like how you use it in each situation. Like maybe you want something more offensive when you're fighting a boss, or bring in that spark and rift. But when you're in the ADU, you might want something that'll help you hunker down.
Actually, too, no, we're on that subject of augments. Something you mentioned yesterday I thought was pretty cool. Were
no,
boss augments as kind of the levels continue to
wake
progress.
up,
Yes.
no
Can you tell us a little bit
sleeping.
about those?
So we just did an augment just now that had
Exciting content, new
capture points spawn in the
times.
arena. Oh, we have one right here.
Destiny
and what
best
that does
days.
is that calls in turrets that will eventually come and help us out. If we call both of them, they'll all activate, and that serves to kind of get some heat off of you.
Yeah.
And just overall kind of help, like, these are level
I'm not
3
doing
turrets,
nothing.
you
I'm
see them
looking
in
at
blue,
3
they're
of them,
looking
and none
really
of them are
nice and
shooting.
Yeah.
Look, they're sleeping.
And again, you were
2
saying
of them
level
in the
3,
front
fire
are
rate
laying
also
down. The one on the
increases
left is
Fire
not.
rate, health,
What do you
and
mean they're
damage
helping?
increases
not
for
bad to
them.
have.
But they cost 6,000
Am I-
scraps, so you're
what?
gonna need to save up a lot.
Okay.
I think it's
What do you mean they're helping and keep
12,000
the heat
scrap
off of you?
altogether for like going from level 1.
Can you just roll that leftover Shrieker Eye into some enemies, maybe just for the?
Bro, they're
felt?
both. One is right next to him doing nothing, and the 2 in front are not even activated.
The void calls.
All right, so what level are we on now? Out of curiosity,
We're on wave 20.
Was that 20? Okay, cool, awesome.
Damn, they're gonna go all the way up to
Man, this
50.
is going well, honestly. Yeah, I will say, especially after yesterday, we learned that Noah is one of the most dangerous to ever wield the 2 thumbsticks out there. To all the PvP streamers as well, go ahead and
It's a
challenge
distraction.
Hey, I go
They're
flawless,
just
you
to
know,
look
check
at
my
them.
KD.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought you were the gilded one.
Well, I don't want to brag, but as a 4 times gilded flawless, I mean, I'll let you guys brag for that.
Wow.
Gilded
I'm a brag
flawless.
too. I
Chill,
got
chill,
Ribbons
chat.
Bane back in Forsaken. Petrol's run, that was tough. All my Ribbons Banes out there, we know what's up. And Shadows.
Yeah.
Y'all got it.
There's a chapter of everyone's dream journal dedicated to that particular time in their lives, obviously.
Habibi.
Drop the Bungie ID, they're saying. Perhaps I'll leave that up to him. That is his.
Oh, I can do it. No, I'll do it. Check my raid report. Check my dungeon. Hey, I'm there, bro.
Noah is ready, honestly. He's prepared for this moment. Let's see here.
So new ADU, new location.
Yep. Yes. Well, that's something I
see,
neglected
look,
to
the
mention.
turrets,
So every
like
time
everything.
you do a boss, you will actually change locations. And let me just buy something real quick because I have money. But the defenses you pick, like that you placed before in your previous locations, those will still be active. So that means that you building up your defenses over time. You obviously can't upgrade these since they're not at the location you're on, but they will help you when the waves get harder. So you having a level 3 turret or level 3 decoy somewhere, that will actually help you out, and you'll be able to take aggro from the waves. Like we see, hey, the turret right there doing damage to the knights.
Okay.
It all kind of helps that feeling of feeling like you're the vanguard and the
But
last
see, I
city.
wanted
like
that
you're helping
answer.
to
That's,
defend
I
them.
guess.
These emplacements are permanent and not just temporary.
Okay. You're really, really digging the trenches.
Bro, what
and
the-
putting yourself
the-
in. Okay, okay.
dude.
We'll put that on the list of things that chat didn't see. We get a veto. That's the one that everyone gets to forget. Sorry, chat, but that didn't just happen.
Everyone makes mistakes, man.
Also, too, actually, J.R. Bizzle in chat asks, are the rewards going to be tied to the wave you get to? Now, I know Noah kind of mentioned this a little bit when he was referencing the coil earlier, but obviously there's between the level 10, or pardon me, the 10 wave and the 50 wave versions, what's the reward story for each one?
So in all the activities, every time you beat 10 waves and you beat the boss, you'll get a chest.
Okay.
You'll get rewards.
So every 10 waves,
Yep.
you get, okay.
And then in the challenge
he?
mode,
Yeah,
there's a
it is a
normal and
Bungie
hard
stream.
version of those. In the normal version, you'll get.
I'm playing
you
with
get
them. I'm
the
here.
double chest all the
I'm
way
testing
until
out the
last, so you
content
can
with
beat The
them.
final wave,
Yeah.
you'll get double rewards.
I'm talking with
And
them,
then if
bro.
you
I'm part of the
play
event.
The hard mode,
Yeah.
you get
I'm that cool of a streamer,
additional
man.
rewards in all the waves.
Excellent. Okay.
And so there's some little surprises there too. We might have along the way that at the end as well, just if you're lucky.
Excellent. Yeah, for the ones that are really going to go ahead and try it a few times out, maybe there's an additional variable thrown in there from time to time. Excellent. Yeah. Also, too, actually, Kurt Jones, 29, asks, how do revives work in this activity, both between normal and legend?
So that's actually a great question. As we see now, there is not. Oh my good lord!
Oh, Tormentor!
What a great time
Big
to think
Daddy's,
critically.
bro. He looks
There's a Tormentor
big
on your
here.
doorstep.
I can answer that for Noah.
And, like,
no,
in
take
this
down the
tight-ass
Tormentor.
area?
The way
Oh,
revives work
snap.
is like in
That's
the,
cool.
the
That's
first
different.
2 sets.
Yeah.
Darkness is off, but when we get to the 3rd set,
He's not as tanky as he normally is,
if
that's
you
for
all go
sure.
down, or the ADU goes down, the activity's over.
That's it. Okay. Yep. So you just take the rewards you got for the 2.
And in Legend, that's on by default.
Yeah, you don't lose any rewards. Every set you complete, you'll get rewards.
Yeah.
But if you're halfway through a set and you fail,
great, thank you.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. Just take your lunchbox and go home.
Yeah, well, you can hop right back in the playlist. Or hop right back in with your friends and try again.
Teammates, damage!
Like when this was getting developed behind the scenes here, and we were kind of getting a sense of what Into the Light was going to be, I gotta tell you, like just
the turrets shoot. All the ones are shooting, bro.
Keep diving back in, testing new builds. I'm sure
Look,
I'm not the
you
only
see
one
they get
who has
up and they
every
do
single
stuff.
one of
The
their
other ones,
loadout
the other
slots
3
filled
weren't doing
with some
nothing.
hyper-specific
The
loadout
ones
that I'm
inside
deeply
the
in love with
room.
in its own way. And so I feel like this is the exact right time to go ahead and just continue diving in and just bolstering those loadouts to begin with. The Brave Arsenal, which again we'll be talking about next week. Don't you worry. But also too is just get a chance to go ahead and really see how they can thrive in environments just outside of even as difficult as GMs can be. Find something that really pushes it beyond that standard level.
Joe Zaza, they have harder levels. I think they have a GM2 version.
Throw a lot of variety at you, right? There's the 2 combatant factions that you're going to be facing, and the Fallen Hive that can randomly be in there when you start the mission. There's
they said it goes up to GM. Yep, Grandmaster.
There's like the progression of the waves. There's augments. All these things are kind of working together in concert to test.
Other than showing off the game mode, they really haven't showed much.
Excellent. Also, too, actually, Optimal Pickle in chat, wonderful name, I might add, is also curious. I know we just talked about scrap gathering, obviously, and how everyone kind of gets their own purse. Are you able to gift that scrap to other people, or you just get your own purse as a result of it?
You just get your own purse.
Gift the scrap, but you can both. Like if someone places something else, you could upgrade it.
Oh, okay.
You can coordinate.
In a way, you can.
They can drop to level 2, you can upgrade, or they can drop to level 1, you can upgrade it to level 2. Nice, very good.
So in a way, you're sharing.
We wanted to keep it simple and fast. Like we
did a lot of orbs happening.
We did a lot of work to make sure it was as streamlined as it could be, because currency can get complicated if you're not careful about it.
In the heat of battle, honestly, it's like a sweeper bot,
nobody
whatever.
wants to open their wallet and be like, "You got a 5?"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Can you break 3,000 scrap?
I'm getting shot here.
That's right. Just a little bit. It's okay. Yeah. Go still help you out with that. See.
We're getting up there in the waves, and they're getting a little bit more beefy.
They're getting to level 50. It seems like it's getting to where I like. So I think level 50 is going to be where I want to be at.
Appreciate about Onslaught, other than like
it's getting hectic now. The wizards are coming out, the ads are coming out,
and just like if you want
shields are coming out,
triumphs, you've got
tanky enemies are coming out. Look at the wizards, they're back to back. I like this now.
Hop in Onslaught and chill.
This is Chain of Ability Central.
You tear through a lot of enemies and like.
Hear that, everyone? You can leave the opening gates of Grasp of Avarice, finally.
or Shirochi, you don't have to farm there anymore. Don't have to input that wish.
And some waves are really like hard, and other waves like if you've got a bunch of guys coming down a hallway and you unload your supers, unload
up to 50,
your ammo, that feels awesome.
Yeah.
Really like have that peak power.
Strand, it's going to suspend everything.
You're getting some cred in chat for your ability to dispatch champions. I don't know why people are asking about
those, everything being surrounded.
Mobs. I don't know if that's a reference to something, but you'll have to remind us.
Unlimited grapple with the grappling points.
Necessarily.
Banner of War.
Oh, I know what
people on top of each other.
I'm telling you, I'm that guy. I'll drop the Bungie at. I don't care, man. Check me out.
I believe you, honestly.
I envy that level of confidence.
Yeah,
I'd be dead.
I hide in the background. I have my name in game is just Andy, and I hide amongst the field of other Andys with all of our little hash numbers at the end of our name, honestly. Though if you see the one with the dead man's tail, you know that's me for certain.
Great weapon. One of my favorites, honestly.
It's so good.
Remember when it was
so
good?
Stylish. It's just like my favorite gun in any video game ever, honestly. It's really, really good.
When it was good.
Though then again, we get along pretty darn well. Okay, so we're back on the pyramid ship.
Yes. Also, every 6 waves, actually, you're gonna.
6.
Well, on the 6th wave of each thing, so 6, 16, 26, 36, etc.
Okay.
You will
watch how he's good math
and have a cool little encounter that's it feels like an action movie. You and your team get to run down against waves. Against waves of combatants, in this hallway, and then there's an invincible warden at the end, and the only way to dispatch him and move on is you have to dunk in the wrist.
Palate cleanse.
Oh, and he pushed me.
Little breather.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, he's to do
also, too, actually, Jerome,
do
from a lore standpoint, from a mechanic standpoint, obviously this helps, make sure that we're pushing forward in the activity and we've got an appropriate challenge. But why are the Guardians able to go ahead and even head back into these pyramid ships?
About to be 100,000 views.
Yeah.
And now it's sort of permeable. It can go both ways, right?
Yeah.
The Witnesses' forces are much more able to access our space, as we can see right there in the middle of Midtown. But we are also able to access their space more.
Yeah.
So it's a double-edged sword, so to speak.
They opened that door. Now they can't take
That's
it back.
right.
The Guardians
I thought
are gonna be
we
in there
opened that
emoting
door.
and meddling and having a grand old time.
I thought we opened the portal and went over there.
See? There we go.
That's why we can go. No?
Let's go ahead and flex your raid emotes. It's all right. Let's get it out of the way. I say that.
I thought we was the one that made that wish. Maybe it has to do because of something else. Oh my God, you're about to go out.
Starting to get spicy out here.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
let's lock
about.
in, guys.
Let's lock in,
So we're just making
chat.
it more theatrical.
Yeah, we
Wait,
totally
the
are.
spawn, he just spawned instantly. Like, there's no crazy spawn delay from the looks of it.
I just
I
know.
mean, I
I'm
know
gonna
that's been
turn the
happening,
corner
but
and
still,
there's
like, it's pretty
gonna be
quick.
a curse thrall, like right there. You see it.
What the? Yo, we leaked.
I got
Oh,
Alt tab.
Alt tab?
oh,
Okay.
he showed the files.
Yeah.
I was like, as
that
it turns
building
out,
He
thing?
showed
Everyone's
everything,
also,
chat.
too, just for
Oh,
everyone's awareness,
snap.
too, we're here live in the dev
That's
environment. So what you're seeing is obviously
crazy.
a quick peek behind
He
the scenes.
leaked it.
But yeah, we're obviously working off of a dev build right
Damn,
now.
he's getting fired.
And doing the finisher appropriately on the rolls.
He's getting
My
fired,
favorite is the
chat.
quick draw gun
I'm
slinger
joking.
one.
Yeah.
Hunter, I actually just bought it. I was like, I need it.
The solar one that kind of does like that.
Bro,
before
his
the
face
finger.
went so
I was like, I need
straight.
that. So I'll give up anything.
He got
I
quiet
got
as
the-
hell. He's like, oh
was it
shit.
Guardian Games last year where you got the chair to go ahead and just send it flying at 1,000 miles an hour.
It's hard to beat the
Never
chair.
gets old. Yeah, absolutely never gets old.
It looks like Ashley and Clayton are just carrying me right now.
Actually,
They're
clip
going
that to
I
see.
mean, it is their job to be good at that.
Sure, they're gonna
They've
be
been doing
late
this for months.
later.
I mean, they don't really have the
I don't know what they show,
world
but
war
I
first,
clipped
but
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we're
got
the
it, chat. I recorded it.
You know, in our hearts.
No,
I'm
really,
digging through the
that's gonna
file
be
like a
people
nosy
for
ass
everyone.
bastard.
Yeah.
All of you to be able to hop in this again. Yeah, this is available for all players.
Yeah.
Which is also really exciting. It's kind of like a big gift. from
Bro,
all
they're
of us
about to
here at
go.
Prodigy to all of you. Out
need
there,
to
all of
see
our
that.
guardians, our community.
Yeah.
So, yes,
I
thank
got
you.
folders, bro.
We're excited to be able to
Got some files.
You know, get you all buffed to take on the witness.
Yeah, honestly.
Oh.
It's, you know, it's not going to be easy, obviously. Just another
You have to work.
opportunity to equip everyone, you know,
Yeah.
obviously.
Something I wanted to mention, just to like get a little peek behind the curtain.
Corrupted
when it comes
GM
to,
and new
our
sword, yes,
friend
today.
Sleeper out here, is he used to be
We're
the
gonna do a
best,
little bit
the best
before I get
decoy in the
off.
game, like better than all his other tiered variants, because there was a bug where only the broom would take any damage, and as we see, he's really skinny, so he was like basically nigh untouchable.
Functionally immortal sweeper bot.
Oh my God.
Damn,
Must be
big,
nice,
bro,
obviously,
what
just
the
to have your
hell?
Horcrux
But he
or
did,
whatever
bro,
it is,
he
right?
just
But it's just his
dies.
broom this time, as it would turn out.
We fixed it though.
Bro, they
Yeah,
look so
fair,
much
all right.
bigger in
Yeah.
here
It'll live
because
on
like
again. Another
they're in a
thing that
tight
lives on
space.
strictly
It
in
looks
our
kind of
hearts.
different.
Also, too, out
Damn,
of
he died
curiosity,
like nothing for
Vadar,
high wave.
477 in chat asks, will there be, like, if you have just 2 people on your fire team and you want to go in solo, is there a private mode you can dive into this with?
I believe if you hop in the higher difficulties, you can do
Yeah,
that.
excellent.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. So everyone out there that wants to really challenge themselves, maybe attempt to solo all 50 waves? Yeah. I think the theory is, our running theory is that it's impossible.
I think it's not possible. That's my charge to the community. Can you beat Legend solo by your, like, obviously that's what solo means, but can you beat Legend solo?
Someone's got it.
If my teammate on the social media team, Mitch, is out there watching while on vacation, so don't you dare be working, I think he's got that challenge cut out for himself as well.
Hey, I've learned not to underestimate
Damn, weekends
Destiny's
off.
community at
Imagine
all.
that, bro.
Especially like in Mission Whetstone. I
Imagine not have to work
that.
on the
That was
weekends.
quick.
That's crazy.
Like, so,
I don't even know what days offs are, bro. I just
honestly,
work every
underestimate
day,
the
all
Guardians
day,
as much
every day.
It's the same as the Witness at our own peril.
Don't matter
So
what
obviously,
day.
None of us want to do that. If anything, I'm just excited to go ahead and see this get in players' hands on April 9th.
Weekends
yeah, of
off,
course. I'm
just
so
sit back,
excited to see,
relax,
like,
not think
what
about
strategies you
shit.
come up with.
That
As we
sounds
see, we have
crazy.
another augment here where you are killing Spark Hoarders to spawn a Spark, and when you dunk the Rift, it actually does a chunk of damage to the boss, which if you're looking at the health bar at the bottom, you'll see it does a decent amount. So when you get to bosses that are a little chunkier, these
Yeah.
are ways to do extra damage to them.
They're sending him friend requests.
yeah,
oh,
okay,
I
we're
think
not
he
too
said.
sure.
I think he showed something. Now he's starting to get. I don't know. Why is he getting
I'm
friend
also, I'll say it
requests
again,
out of
I'm so
nowhere?
bitterly jealous I don't have buried bloodline right now. Like, you're making it
No,
look
they're
so
not
good.
spams.
Those guys carry you.
It's good. It's a good gun, especially if you're on other subclasses. It's just free Devour. Plus the Catalyst, you get Devour and Weaken pretty much on demand by using it.
Oh,
It's also, too,
Devour
maybe a small
and
thing, but my personal
Weaken?
favorite,
Yo, why you not
just
using
if I had
this
to pick a
thing,
champion
bro?
mod, and I know it doesn't work like that,
50%
but I do
weakening
have to give credit to
unlimitedly
Anti-Barrier.
and
Because it's every single
Devour?
barrier.
Bro,
It doesn't
you're
matter if it's a
sleeping on
Hive
the
Knight shield,
sidearm.
doesn't matter if
No
a-
wonder
if
it
a
sucks,
Vandal
'cause it
goes
has
ahead and puts their
weakening.
shield up, or if a Hobgoblin
It helps
goes
out the
ahead and
team.
cloisters up, like, it's just like, I'm sorry.
Or
I'm
imagine
just
it's
gonna keep you right in the face.
30%
This
weakening,
guys
like
works for you.
tractor cannon.
Okay.
Oh!
What happened? All right, we're at a stream veto moments, obviously. No,
that
I'm
didn't
sorry,
happen.
but this
Oh,
shame you
there's
have
no
to live with.
wipe?
That didn't happen.
Are you sure you want to hand out your Bungie ID still?
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do
Okay.
it.
Can you
I'll
wipe?
back down.
I'll leave it to you on Twitter. That's fine.
I'll get cooked. It's fine.
Who just walked off the map?
Again, at our own peril, we underestimate. So is this the final boss encounter in the pyramid for this particular wave?
How do you
Yes, this
wipe?
particular wave. I think we're on wave.
If you just lose
30,
your objective,
yes, which means we're on our last wave, which is
Here we
take
go.
the fight to the boss
So it's
again.
definitely a little bit beefier than the last 2 bosses.
Yeah.
But we're going to
victory
dunk
laps.
and kill it in one
more of a
shot.
trial.
Here we go.
The first rounds feel boring. This is
So
where
and
I
also
feel
too
like it should
that
be at. I don't know.
that dunking mechanic that does
Felt
extra
like it
damage to
really
the boss. That's just
felt
a,
really
is that like
slow
a
at the
modifier that
beginning.
kind of gets randomly added with each
New
particular
weapons.
boss?
Hung
one of those
Jury's
augments,
back.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But
There's no
green.
guarantee you're going to get that
And a
one
different
necessarily.
season.
Nope. Even better. Excellent. All right.
Yeah, they
Guys,
they're sending out for requests.
All right, let's keep running more waves. Also, too, actually, I saw a question pop up in chat. Again, I apologize. I missed the name. Twitch chat is moving fast, but thank you to all you Guardians for joining us. Is there any kind of a timer present in this activity, or do you just get
Chat,
to
you
dive
want
in
to see
and
the
take your
Twitch
time?
chat?
The only
Watch
timer is
this.
actually present in the
Hold
purchase
up.
phase. We want to kind of keep that fast-paced flow going.
Yeah.
But otherwise, we just
Wanna
have a
see
timer
Bungie's
ticking
chat-
up to see
chat
how
right
long
now?
your session has been. But
This is on slow
there's no
mode,
timer.
too.
We're not counting down like
Yeah.
10 minutes to beat a whole wave or something.
The only
It's
real fail
supposedly on
condition
slow mode.
is the fire team alive and is ADU still standing?
That's Bungie's
And
chat
again,
on
once
the
ADU is
screen right
gone,
now.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay, you lose on wave 1 somehow.
I'm a
That's it.
cool
Generally, you wanna
streamer.
be
Look at
pretty
us,
clear
chat. We
about
have
it.
chatters
Finish
in the
what's
chat.
Yeah.
Bunch of like oh, you have to.
That's fair. There's like a A and B and
I'm a
C,
famous
nothing like
streamer,
that. Okay.
chat. Look at
And again,
us.
You're only defending its one ADU that kind of will
Just like back in the
transition.
days.
Only the current ADU. It will.
We
keep
made
you
it,
with-
chat.
Got it.
We're
Okay, thank you.
famous.
That's perfect. Also, too, chat, I see you asking for information on the loot to show us what weapons are on the
I
way.
can't see
Tune
my
in
chat
next
no
week.
more.
We'll
I'm
have
sorry. I'm
plenty
coming back.
for
Hold
you
on. I'm taking
from
it off.
chat.
All right, there you go. It's off. I can't see no more.
Yeah, Shax is. If you go into the lore, Shax is working with
I made it again,
some
chat.
folks, some characters from the past.
That's right, yeah.
And also opening up his private reserve
Interesting.
for our use.
Yeah.
So,
So is
Could be
this, also,
exciting.
is this something Shax has been sitting on for a while, or has he been working on this behind the scenes?
well, there've been some weapons that have been frowned upon in the Crucible.
Yeah.
And but now's the time to bring those out.
Yeah.
Anything
Vanguard
that-
outlawing stuff is not something we have time for at this point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if it's dangerous, now's the time to bust it out.
All the better. Obviously.
You know,
yeah.
high risk, high reward. That's how I see it.
And we, if anything, are facing down our biggest risk in the witness so far, obviously. So making sure that Shax goes ahead and opens those coffers, nothing short of generous, I'll say. Just,
TikTok, I see you. I'm not ignoring y'all, man. We're just
have you
busy.
improved ability regeneration right now, or are you just that good?
That's what, I feel like you're
say
not
you're that-
hearing me. I'm that guy.
You have mentioned that once or
Noah
twice,
plays a
actually. I don't know.
Noah maybe plays an unhealthy amount of Destiny.
Sometimes I will, not even
that
sometimes,
feeling.
oftentimes I get off work and immediately I'm like, okay.
I think there was a
That was
on
on
there,
me.
Noah, by the way. I'm not sure if you saw that. That's,
But I immediately get on and play. I do raids and dungeons. I mean, I've been doing a lot of the coil recently.
yeah, my
Rosaraga.
My dad and I end up playing this game a lot.
Jay, he's a
basically
monster.
Every single day after work,
He got
we're
his
just,
resume
texting
ready.
each
He's
other
a
being like,
beast
"Hey,
at
so when are you
Destiny."
hopping on? When are you done with
He
dinner?"
really plays this game.
I imagine we'll probably more so do the easy modes, but I've got my Nightfall crew I'm sure I could dive in here with. Although, honestly, I think at this point he's more loot paid, my dad, than any of us, so I think he'd have no problem diving in here.
That's awesome to hear. That's what Destiny is all about, right?
Yeah, it's a
Bringing
lot of
people
fun.
together.
Yeah.
Says on Twitter leaks that there's an Easter egg like zombies.
Let's see. Out of curiosity as well, I'm not sure if we can mention this one, but is, Tom, is there a light level increase with Into the Light, or is this still at 1830? I believe it is.
It is at the current power.
Current power? Cool.
Yep.
All right, that hasn't changed. Thank you, Nikki Knight, for that question as
Then
well.
I see on the
time. I can
YouTube,
make
Lady
time
Gamer, what's
super
going
bucket.
on?
I don't have enough for that. Nice.
How much scrap you sitting on right now?
I was on 5,000.
Okay.
Oh, I was too late.
Wrapped for cash.
Scrap
I wasn't
for
paying
cash.
attention. You got on the
Narrative
team.
department.
Honestly, that is, I want to say obnoxiously good. It's
Well, let's see what
it's
wave
maybe
50 looks
appreciate
like.
you guys are
They're
just
getting
stealing our
there.
stuff.
Wave 34 out of 50.
Want to write tweets? No.
Want to write tweet? It's a job too nowadays, chat. That's another extra job I have. People
Anything
hire
intense. And again, we're still fighting the hive. We were fighting
social
the Fallen
media
earlier.
managers and shit.
So there will be multiple.
He's
sets
about to
of
die. How
witnesses
about you go
already
heal or
showing
invisible or something?
Activity out
No?
here.
Usually it's just
I shoot a
one
super-
per
Is he gonna
round.
die?
Right, yeah. For the
I
sake of
guess.
developers, rules, went ahead and just swap that over just so folks can get a look.
You know it's
He's in
getting
the higher
harder
wave,
when
but he's playing worse.
Noah stops flexing.
I know, right? Yeah.
He's actually
Okay.
having
there's a lot going on, you know?
There is. There is. And I think also, too, this is something we sort of touched on yesterday when we were doing our initial playthroughs, but especially when you get to these higher levels and it's not just kind of the proverbial, comparatively speaking, walk in the park that the first few are, like, you really got to keep your comms crisp with your team. You got to make sure that you're really aligning.
Grandmaster's going to be crazy, to be honest.
But maybe sending your scrap to one part to
But I'm noticing, like, the orbs are fat in here. I don't know if it's normal, but, like, whenever there's orbs on the floor, they're, like,
actually, also, too, to
like
that
the size of my,
obviously, the pyramids have been doing some terraforming, but, Tom, when you guys were building that activity, how are you guys going about even changing these maps? It looks like you guys have changed the architecture in some pretty significant ways.
Going to orbit,
so when we looked at these maps, right, we want to have like a bunch of distinct lanes for the enemies to kind of like attack the ADU from, and they give you like these fronts that you have to divide your attention across the team. So you really have to be like, oh, they're coming from the left, they're coming from the right. You take this way, I take that way. And like a lot of times in these
chunky
maps,
hordes, bro.
But they didn't have the lanes we needed, and the artists and the designers working together like, oh, like what if like the pyramids just like evaporated this building right here? And
you guys are like, great, let's do it.
And that really, so we had to open up some channels in here, and like that, we got the great, fictional context where we can be like, no, it's
everybody want my orbs, bro. They're out here collecting them. I don't know if y'all see it. They're picking them up.
All right, and also too, I'm getting some word from the
going
traveler
for the
in
boss.
the sky.
Let's see if this boss
no, I hate to break it to
harder.
you, but we have come to the end of our gameplay segment.
No, wait,
you
what?
must return from your throne world.
I think I performed pretty well.
That's
I'll be the first to agree with you, especially because I don't want to have to.
You're not going to go to level 50 on the lowest difficulty?
In Crucible sometime.
Yeah, and also too is I think
right, he's just leaving.
I think we can say that, but this is going to happen. We maybe won't say where,
is
but
this
isn't the only location that players are going to have Onslaught available.
Right.
Hey, he's back.
There'll be more than that, obviously. Noah, welcome back from the Throne World. It's good to see you.
I got a lot of tithes. I'm feeling like Eris and I are comparable right now.
So you're going to turn into a hive? Never mind. I don't want to attempt turning into a hive god. That's fine. We'll leave that for your.
That's the next expansion.
But no, Noah, thank you very much for taking us through that.
Thanks
and
for having me.
of course, for everyone here in Twitch chat, thank you for joining us. But before we go ahead and head on out, obviously this is just kind of the first look at what's to come in Destiny 2 Into the Light. Again, as a reminder, we're going to be doing 3 streams showing up all of this content that's going to be coming out, available to all players. And of course, before we go ahead and head off, Tom, you guys have all worked so heavily on this activity. Tom, we'll start with you. When Onslaught releases, when it gets in players' hands on April 9th, what are you most looking forward to?
April 9th.
I really want to see what players do with the defenses. I want to see
like shit on
what their strategies are. I know Noah's got his strategies. I've got mine. Maybe mine are a little less developed than his. and just to be able to like see. Also, it's a great time to get back in and play. It's gonna be a great time to play Destiny. It's gonna be like new activities, tons of rewards.
Come back, chat. They want you back.
I'm gonna be hopping in with me.
Come back for Final Shape.
That's gonna be awesome.
This is your chance.
Jerome, as someone who's gone ahead and helped craft this story to bring this to life, obviously.
They're trying to sell it to you. I'm telling you, bro. That's why they pushed it back.
What are you most looking forward to when this releases on April 9th?
First of all, people getting absolutely hyped out of their minds for the Final Shape, and I want to see what builds arise out of this. It's a kind of a different strategic calculus than we've seen before, so I want to see how the players innovate and deal with this
just kill ads.
Strategic calculus. I'm going to file that one away. That's
Chad,
the
new sword today,
everyone.
Chad.
Just making us all look bad. And of course, Noah, you've helped brick by brick put this together, this brand new activity. As someone who's obviously spent a ton of time playing it in addition to developing it, when it gets out into the wild, when you've got the chance to play it with your friends, what are you most looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to just getting my reps in, seeing how far we can get, especially on Legend. Get extra rewards, have an extra difficulty, just have fun with friends and trying to see, like Jerome was saying, like what builds arise, like what cool stories come out of playing things like this. Like we saw, you can have a big tormentor show up and like all these different things, those little emergent moments are what really makes Onslaught special at the end of the day. And I'm really proud of what the team and everyone has done. Like I'm a very small part of a larger team. Teams are way better than heroes. And
you're here.
Everyone has done such a great job building Onslaught and just curating stuff for Into the Light. I'm so excited for what's going to show up in these next live streams.
Awesome. Yeah, and thank you guys all 3 for being here today to represent the team and help us kind of, show this first glimpse at Into the Light to all the players out there. Obviously, it's pretty great to have you guys here, bright and early in the morning.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Yep. All right, everyone. Well, I believe that's it from us here at Bungie HQ. As a quick reminder, again, we'll be back next week at the same Bungie time,
next week,
place,
same
to show you
time.
some even more content about Into the Light, including some returning Guardian favorite weapons, which you may have gotten a glimpse of today, a brand new look at an all-new social space as well that you can take your fire team down to, and even more information about upcoming rewards. Before we obviously send it off, I want to again thank our guests here for joining us today, to the entire Destiny development team who behind the scenes right now is working on this content, bringing it to life for all of us. Thank you all so much for your hard work. work to Clayton and Ashley, our plate testers in the back who went ahead and helped fill out the fire team. Getting some waves. There we go. Thank you very much. To the amazing team of producers who are here putting on the show, thank you all so much. Genuinely, it's amazing to have all of your assistants. They have the distinct difficulty of making me look good on camera, so believe me, their work is cut out for them. And to our team of moderators in chat, you're the real heroes. Thank you so much for your time. But in the meantime, again, reminder, we'll be back next week at the same time and place to show you even more content. But until then, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see y'all Starside.
Let's go. Who wants to see the files they leaked? I want to see the files they leaked, chat. Let's see if they leak some goodies.